Hi, Facebook. How are you?
Hi, Facebook.
Happy Wednesday. I do apologize. We normally have been trying to do this on Monday, but my husband and I had a speaking engagement that we could not miss. So she was kind enough to change her schedule and come out on Wednesday. So
Yay!
I am excited to have Beverly.
I'm trying to be calm, but I'm good.
So let me give you my little promo for Miss Beverly. She's the everyday woman. She is a mother of 4.
Yes.
She is a grandmother.
Of 2.
A model. Works at CASA of Franklin County?
No.
Very good.
But I'm a volunteer with CASA of Franklin County.
Okay.
And I work with Franklin County Juvenile Courts.
Very good. Very good. She's a prophetess. She is the extreme woman of God, in my opinion, and a lot of other people. She is the founder of the Good Girl Project. She's a life coach.
Yes, lifestyle coach.
Lifestyle coach and a stylist. So please welcome Beverly.
Hi, Facebook world! Happy Wednesday!
Very good. So Beverly, you are from Toledo.
Yes, I am. Toledo, Ohio.
Toledo, Ohio. That's where my husband
Go Rockets!
So
Bulldogs.
Right.
I gotta say that.
Okay, very good. Bulldogs. So tell me about your childhood. As much as you care to share. In case there's a book coming. Plug.
There it is. I started some chapters today because of this. So, my childhood was very interesting. I did experience some traumatic experiences, but I also had some fulfilling experiences. I have great childhood friends from Toledo. I grew up in a family of 5. I'm the youngest.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So we had a mom that was very interesting. My mom was diagnosed as paranoid schizophrenic and bipolar. As a child, I didn't really understand that, and so we lived with a lot of interesting. It was dramatic. Our childhood could be dramatic at times, and then it would be pretty mellow. So I learned how to adapt and how to kind of fake the funk.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So always in survival mode.
I see. Now did that survival mode and living with the mom that you have, did it pave the direction you've had as an adult?
I believe so. Yes, I would say so.
Very good. Very good. Do you, I know that just from knowing you and also to some of your posts, I know that you are a domestic violence survivor.
Yes.
Do you care to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes. I've actually experienced domestic violence in 2 relationships.
2 relationships.
Yes. So just for confidentiality in my book coming forth, there were 2 relationships that I was involved in, and one started at a young age in my high school years, and it evolved into my adulthood, and then one in my adulthood. And one almost brought my life to an end.
My goodness.
Mm-hmm. So yes.
Now, with going through the experience twice,
yes,
did that interfere with dating for the future? Like, how does a woman like that grow up to be, a possible wife, a possible role model to your sons? I mean, is that...
It's been challenging, and we're still healing from some of the effects of being in a domestic violence relationship. Sure. I am involved in counseling. I've been in counseling throughout my life. I think that it was good because it helped me process some of the traumatic experiences in my childhood and my adulthood. So, yes, domestic violence. But I grew up in a violent home.
I see.
So, due to my mother's mental illness, we had a lot of violence. So, it was like leaving one violent situation going into another. So, it was like something that I kind of migrated to. And I wasn't aware of it until I became an adult in counseling, seeing my pattern of abuse.
Interesting. So you are definitely pro-counseling.
I am so pro-counseling.
Very good.
Because there's some things that God wants us to do with help. I do believe in God's healing power, but there's also some things that we need to work through and process with someone that's professional.
Yes.
To help us to overcome whatever traumatic experience that may cause barriers emotionally, and it causes mental blocks.
Yes.
So yes, when you were talking about relationships and how has that prevented me from dating, I do think that I've become more self-aware of myself through counseling, so I know like some of the setbacks or some of the issues, and I try to be self-aware and not be attracted to those type of men and bring that baggage into a relationship. So, but everywhere I go, there I am. So I'm always growing and evolving to know, okay, this is another layer of an experience that I need to let go of. So I'm always trying to find ways to heal emotionally, mentally, and spiritually.
Especially raising, boys and girls.
Boys and girls are affected by domestic violence. Girls may become violent with their tongue because although I was abused physically, I became abusive verbally. So I had to take ownership of my behavior. So, in some relationships, a man will tend to come and use his strength. Well, women, oftentimes, I know I use my words to fight you. Okay, I'm not strong enough and big enough to overpower you, but I'm going to overpower you with my words.
Wow.
So I had to also identify those things. And then knowing what your triggers are. Mm-hmm. So not only did it affect me in my adult, I had to go back and look at childhood issues and trauma to be able to say, okay, this is a trigger for me. Because abuse doesn't just go from male to female. It can go into a workplace situation. It can go into a sisterhood, friendship. So abuse attracts abuse. So I've learned the different faces of abuse.
That's good. That's very good, actually.
I hope so.
It is.
It's working.
It is, absolutely.
It's working.
So you have strong faith. I know that, and a lot of people that follow you on social media do. Were you always in church? Or no?
We were raised in church. So actually, my experience, I was raised in church. I was raised as a Baptist young lady. I remember being baptized as a young lady. And I always kind of had a heart or innocence, for God. But it wasn't until I actually moved away from Toledo to Columbus that I joined a church, which is Columbus Christian Center with Pastor Forbes, and I learned about the Word of Faith. So I was really going through a religious practice when I was young. I knew how to pray and those different things, and we couldn't wear pants at certain, Church of God in Christ as a young lady.
Is that Koji?
Yes.
Okay.
So it caused me to take up a religious mindset. Going through, you can have a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. But it wasn't until I came here at the age of 23 that I had a real life experience where I learned what the Word of God truly was, and it became alive for me.
That's great.
So yes,
that's good. That's very good. That's very good. So, you see, this is the exciting part. You see things in people, and it's beautiful. And it's intimidating, I'm sure. When did you first realize that you had this gift?
It's not always exciting.
I know.
So I'm going to put that out there. It's not something, and it can be intimidating because I've learned that some people, they're either embrace me or they don't know how to deal with me because of my gift, and I'm okay with that. Sure. For a time, I struggled with that. But having the gift to be a seer, that's what, spiritually what it is. People say empath. Not only can I see, but I also can feel. So what times people are going through, I could take that on, and being aware of what's going on with other people, it can be exhausting sometimes. So God has had to teach me how the balance of not taking on what I'm experiencing.
I see.
It is an awesome gift, but I ran from it, and I actually hated it for a while. I resented it because I would see things that I didn't want to see. Like maybe God showed me something about a person I was close to that, showing me, hey, this friend is really not for you, but let me show you how.
I see. So
those kind of things, and things about, being in relationships. And it's not no weird, spooky things. So please don't think I'm some weird.
No.
There's many of us. I'm not an X-Man or anything like that. I don't practice witchcraft, and I don't do voodoo. So let's put that all out there. And I'm not a psychic. So,
my husband and I appreciate these, though. We appreciate this ability that you have. So I just want to tell you that.
Well, but it comes with balance. And I've been in prophetic ministries. So I had to learn, but it wasn't maybe 46. I'm telling myself. maybe in the last 15 years, I kind of like it would be things I would know, or I would feel like deja vu, and then it would happen, or I could be around somebody and like something doesn't feel right about that person. Those type of things, or I could see things with my children's friends, or just things like that, danger coming, or having dreams and visions. So it's been overwhelming learning how to manage the gift. And then also I've seen other people operating the gift. So I had grew a fear because I saw some people use their gift to manipulate and mishandle people. So I wanted to be able to honor God with my gift, because it's really not my gift. He gave it to me, and it's just on loan.
That's true.
So those are the things, and just having a balance, and knowing when to speak and when not to speak, because everything that you see isn't for you to share with everybody. It's just for informational purposes.
Right.
Or to pray, being an intercessor. So
that's wonderful.
Not all the time, but yes.
Okay, so we'll switch it up a little bit. So tell me about working with the juvenile.
Oh, wow. I've worked with youth to be honest with you, I've worked with children since I was 13 years old. I was a babysitter. That was my first job.
Wow.
So I spent time with my neighbors across the street, her children. But in going back in hindsight, I've had over maybe 25, 26 years working with children.
I didn't know that. Wow.
I started out with babysitting, but my job when I left Toledo, I had a job as a teaching assistant working with developmentally disabled.
Oh, wow.
So I have worked with a genre of children. So, and I don't look at them, we say at risk, but I look at it as at promise. So I work with youth. Presently in my role, I'm a case manager, and I work with juvenile human trafficking victims.
My goodness. What's it like working with them?
It's actually awesome.
Really?
It gets challenging, but I love what I get to do, because I get to work with young people and help them, because they're victims.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times, most of the young people, they've been victims prior to getting into this world, this social injustice or atrocity is what I would say. They have been sexually used in some kind of capacity. So it opens the door for that.
Yes.
And so I feel blessed to be honored to be able to work with them, because that could have been me.
Yes.
Because I'm a survivor from being molested as a child. So I'm able to use what I overcame to help other young people.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I'm very passionate about it. So yeah, and I'm actually I love to mentor young people, so I mentor youth, but I also am a volunteer at Casa Franklin County.
Very good. Very good.
So, which is a passion of mine.
Very nice. So not only do you do that, I know that you also model part-time as well.
I don't model part-time. I model in my free time.
Okay, very good.
No.
So it's not full-time, it's still kind of part-time-ish.
Yes, I enjoy it, but I'm more behind the scenes, so I like getting the models together. Okay. I've assisted with fashion shows at one point.
Very nice.
I like the styling, the makeup. So whenever I am able or asked to model, I do it. I love it. I'm usually always a senior model among all the women, but it's fun.
Yes, it is.
I love the world of fashion.
I see. So that's why people feel comfortable to come to you for style. Yes. So you kind of you do that part time as well, actually.
Yeah, I do. I
mean, she's got a part time. She's part time, like as long as my arm. So we're gonna go part time.
It's free time.
This is free time.
Yes.
But I've even seen some people that I've known, some friends of mine that you have helped that they look beautiful.
Yes. Thank you for that. So you give me 5 stars?
Yes, I do. Definitely give me 5 stars. Yes,
Thank you.
Looks
You heard
fabulous.
that.
Yes.
The Good Girl Project.
Yes.
We get 5 stars.
Very good. Very good.
Yes.
Very good. So tell me about you said the lifestyle coaching?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, what we do is, how that came out is I was actually at Casa Franklin County, and I was the director of volunteer management, and I would interview women and connect with them, and they would ask me to mentor them, and I'm like, sure. So I would do it, but then we would go through goals and talk about their emotional life and what's going on with them. So it was like a natural relationship that formulated, and they would say, well, can you help me work on this? And I'm like, sure. Then they would say, well, can you help me work on my style? And so it just kind of just formed into this, okay, this is a lifestyle that they want to change. It's not where I'm a life coach, but they lifestyle, because when you change your frame of thinking, then your lifestyle does change.
Correct.
And so we would start with their emotional, and they would deal with their trauma and mental health. And then we would go, and I'm not a counselor, but we would talk about deep issues. They felt comfortable talking to me and sharing. We would process some of the things that they were working through and set goals. And then we would talk about their brand, their personal brand, which would be how they represent themselves.
Right.
And so then we would talk about makeup and skincare, and that's my fun thing. So I'm blessed because God has used my social service skills and my fashion skills to, birth out the Good Girl Project. So I'm excited.
That is exciting. So we're going to get to the Good Girl Project, but does that have a name to it that you want to promote?
The Good Girl Project.
It is the Good Girl Project.
Yes, okay. That's what we do. Okay. So we do lifestyle coaching and business coaching.
Okay, very good.
So, because sometimes I have women who they're in that stage where they want to start their business, or they started their business and they may want to go to the next level. Okay. So I kind of coach them because I have a nonprofit background, but I do understand for-profit business. So we kind of go through that and talk and look and do a SWOT analysis and look at what barriers they may have to overcome. We may talk about the mission statement or establishing an executive board. So different things like that and connecting them. So let me tell you what's different for me with a business coach. I kind of like filter them in and support them, but I help them to get connected to resources. So I feel like I'm pretty much a connector. Okay. So I may know somebody that has a resource for them to take their business to the next level. So I like to connect women and connect people to resources in the community. So that's what I really do as far as business coaching for women.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Now, you just recently had your first event. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Oh, wow. It was exciting. So it was overwhelming. I'm still kind of,
on a high from it?
Taking it all in and processing it, but it was amazing. So it was our inaugural Good Girl Awards. And so what we did, we honored 8 women in the community that had brought such an impact, not to just my life, but others. Mm-hmm. And so it was an amazing experience. We had quite a turnout, and I was...
You did, I was there. She did quite a turnout.
But I was amazed about, it was very humbling for me because these women, I find it hard to believe sometimes that women, they just don't feel like they deserve to be honored. And these women, they are seasoned women. That's the thing that's different. These are elders that have been in our community that have served. Yes. And, I think that we have to get back to honoring women and the tightest women, because they teach us, and they taught me so many things by just their example. And some of them poured into me and opened doors for me. But I wanted to honor them because they've not just blessed my life, but they blessed many in our community. So, and giving back. And then for the young people to see, this is what I should aspire to do, to serve and honor my elders. Right. So that's was the mission of it, and I believe that it was accomplished.
Oh wow, it was fabulous. I just gotta give you props on that.
It was a humbling experience.
It was wonderful though, and you got to incorporate your girls too.
Yes.
Which was wonderful.
Yes, and that was a blessing for me because actually, how Good Girl Project began was my daughter. I had lost my job working for a residential organization, and I had time off, and the name came forth. But my daughter was turning 13 years old as a teenager. And I wanted to do something different for her, give her pearls of wisdom. And so we had a party, and I had close friends and family come and speak words of wisdom. And we all presented her with pearls, whether they were pearl earrings and necklaces or bracelets. Okay. And so that's how Good Girl started. But it started like just mentoring. Mm-hmm. And that was the intention. And it just kind of went from there. And that was in 2013. And so at the time of the ceremony, God wanted me to honor my oldest daughter so that she wouldn't feel like, well, I never received my pearls. And, out of that experience, God showed me that, sometimes we may feel like we're overlooked. Not that my older daughter may have felt like that, but just I didn't want to give the enemy any room, but to honor her in a way because she had hers in a public way. And so sometimes when we're going through life, we'll see somebody else getting blessed and we're like, oh, I want their blessings. But God knew the specific day and the time that he wanted my daughter to be blessed and honored, to say, hey, this is my stamp of approval. Wow. You're a good girl as well. Wow. In a room of people that were seasoned and that she could be celebrated. So I was honored to be able to bring that about. And I want to leave a legacy for my girls. Wonderful. That they have wisdom, pearls of wisdom. And so they have to carry the legacy out now.
Yes.
And give wisdom, pearls of wisdom to not just their children and their generation, but to others in the community.
That's good.
So yes.
That's wonderful. Now, speaking of mentoring, I know that to get your services, I know it's a cost. Mm-hmm. But would you consider mentoring young girls?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. I also volunteer like at homecoming and proms for young ladies who may not be able to afford getting their makeup done or have a dress. So, the prom is coming up. So I have talked to a few organizations, but if there's a young lady out there that she may not be able to afford a dress or makeup for her prom, she could reach out to Good Girl Project Incorporated, send me a message on Facebook so that we can help her to see how valuable she is and, to have her worth. Because I was able to go to my prom, and it was an amazing experience, and I don't want anyone to miss out on that experience.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So, yeah.
Same with me. That was wonderful as well.
Yeah.
So I going through your Facebook page, because I'm a stalker. You had, I think it was about a year or two ago, you had an amazing trip to Washington. Yeah. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, my job, I was working with Big Brother, Big Sister. At the time, I was a trainee. I can't even remember my role. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But in my role, I was able to travel, and we worked with Mentor, which is a national organization that helps mentoring programs.
Okay.
And so we were able to go to Capitol Hill and advocate for mentoring dollars with, different senators. So we got to talk to Senator Rob Portman, and actually they were working on a bill as it relates to human trafficking.
Wow.
And that just stirred something up in me. And so my next role, being a part of human trafficking, it was like he was pointing me in that direction. So it was exciting. It was life-changing to see all these different, let's talk about just Ohio. There were like 20 representatives that we were with, and I was like the team leader organizing them. And we all got together and went to our different senators to talk to. But then we got to go throughout Capitol Hill, so I got to go to Maxine Waters' office. She wasn't there.
Right,
I just see some of the books
just to
she
touch
read.
her stuff, right?
Yes, and it was amazing just to walk down the halls, and they bring their little dogs to work and all of that. And it was just an amazing experience being a part of that and being able to impact our youth. And the one thing I believe in CASA, like for children that are abused and neglected, every child should have a CASA guardian ad litem, but I think that every young person needs a mentor. So they go hand in hand, and what I mean is not every child is going to go through children's services, but every child needs a mentor, because the statistics show that probably about 85%, I don't want to be wrong, I haven't read my numbers lately, but I will tell you that most children that are mentored, they go and give back and become mentors.
Oh, wow.
So, and they help children get through, challenging. They have someone to talk to, a friend, and they feel safe. So if you ever have time available, our children need mentors. Find a mentoring program. Big Brother, Big Sister is a large organization, but there are also other organizations like All That, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. They have a mentoring program in the Columbus Public Schools, D-Light. So, and Jamie's program.
Jamie Glenn, Brown Girls.
Brown Girls. Yes. So they all need mentors. And Femergy, yes, Femergy, they all need mentors. So I'm happy to have been a part of helping these programs to grow.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So yes, I do believe in mentoring. I love it.
Very good. So do you have any projects or anything you would like to announce while we're at the close of this chat, and something you want to let the people know that's coming up soon? We're trying to pray.
Spring is here. That's all I can say. Enjoy this beautiful weather. What I would say is, what I'm working on is taking care of myself. So I'm in a different season of my life.
Got it.
But I'm working on a book.
That's really exciting.
About my life, and so I don't know when it'll be done.
But we heard it here first.
Yes. And I'm giving a shout out to Shelby Frederick, because I'm about to go through a Christian counseling certification program. So that's what's new.
Wow.
So I'll be taking my classes. I start in April. So if you're interested in becoming a Christian counselor with a certification, Shelby Frederick is your person. Wow. She's amazing. She's a life coach. So hit her up on her page. But yes, so that's what's new for me right now.
That's
I'm
exciting.
trying to get my certifications and my education.
Very good. So how would people find you on social media, websites, emails? Would you like to do any shout out where people can reach Miss Beverly Robinson?
On Instagram, I am Miss Fashion Buff. Beverly Robinson on Facebook. And I have a Good Girl page, Good Girl Project Incorporated page. And right now I am also working on my website.
Very good.
But Facebook, you can always find me. Now I'm taking a little break, but I'm still on there, so you can reach out. I'll get my message, but I'm taking time to work on my project.
That's fine. But if they wanted to reach you, at least on Messenger, you do check periodically.
Yes.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Very good. Well, Beverly, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I think you're awesome, and I was definitely one of the people that
I think you're awesome. Isn't she awesome?
So we got a time to chat with Miss Beverly. You know how to reach her, and we're going to close this chat. And thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right, Facebook, we'll see you next week. Next week is with my husband, and he'll be interviewing Norman Whiteside.
And he's awesome.